Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie. Round 3 starts today.
This episode of the 2024 Bourbon Van Advent Whiskey Tournament is brought to you by Still Austin Cask Strength Rye Whiskey. Featuring intense aromas, a robust palate, and a long, complex finish, it's the perfect whiskey for the holiday season. Or any season. Seriously, this whiskey's so good. First day of round 3, here we go. We don't know anything about these whiskeys other than the numbers that are assigned to them, which are meaningless to you, but they're going to help us to figure out what in the heck is going on here. It'll certainly help me to edit. So what is in each of these glasses? I know we have one in common.
We do, and it's not the first one.
Okay.
I like to make it extremely difficult for you. So in our logo glasses, which will be the first one we're drinking, you are drinking 1-1. It's made it all the way from day 1.
How about that?
And I'm drinking 2-2, made it all the way from day 2.
Okay, great. And what is up against this menagerie of whiskeys?
We are both drinking 4-2.
In the 5-sip Friday
In the
glasses.
5-sip Friday glass.
Okay, so now that that's all figured out, you've come along for the bookkeeping. You may as well stick around for the whiskey sipping. All right, let's get to the noses on these. This is 1-1 for me, 2-2 for you.
Mm-hmm. It smells a little bit like paint thinner.
Oh, this smells delightful. This is a really well-balanced, sweet and spicy sip that I'm eager to get into. It smells a little proofy.
Mine smells rye-tastic. Little undertone of cherry, heavy spice.
I'm ready to sip that. That is so inviting. My mouth is already watering. That's what I want out of my whiskey. That smells great.
4-2 is what we have in common here. Like the nose on this one.
Yeah, this is that jammy, buttery, rich. Yeah, I like the smell of this one.
Both of these smell different. I mean, than what I suppose they smelled like before. Because that first one, I was getting things that I never got before.
Yeah.
And on this one, it's a little bit earthy on the nose. So you're getting jammy and creamy, and I'm getting earthy.
Well, it's definitely musty as well. The difference between mine is brightness up front, mustiness back here. But the one thing that they do seem to have in common is that they seem complex. They seem like maybe they both have a bit of age to them. I'm excited to get into this here. Where do you want to start today?
I should always think about this as I pour
I
them.
spring it on you every single time.
Let's start with the second glass.
4-2 is what we're going to begin with. Let's continue the holidays.
Round 3.
Cheers.
Ooh, yeah, that one's good. I like that one. End of story. Dang,
This
that one's
whiskey.
good. I like it.
A lot of times as we proceed through the tournament, I don't recall from day to day what whiskeys taste like. I never know what I'm into. This one is so distinct. You cannot confuse this whiskey for anything else. Once it's in there, oh man, this is a whiskey that sticks with you. I love it. That jamminess.
So good.
Oh man.
As soon as I drank it, I was like, oh, it's this one.
It's this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I never remember numbers. Like we always say what number we're drinking, but it just looks in one ear, out the other.
This whiskey has been a star since day 4, I guess is when we would have tried it. It's delightful and it sticks around. The spice there is like a baking spice, allspice type of thing.
Nice proof on this. I think it'd be 117-ish, if I had to guess.
I would say
one sip.
I would think it's in that neighborhood. It is really healthy flavors. That is huge flavors of brown sugar, vanilla, oak. Maybe even a little bit of a wine presence there. It is delightful.
We can make quick work of these last 3 probably because I feel like we've talked them to death already. But I just want to reiterate, this one, I don't know what it is. I want to buy a bottle. If I don't have a bottle already, which maybe I do, maybe I don't. But it's delicious.
It is delicious, and I will say this about it. A lot of times when we're done with our matchups from day to day, we finish the matchup. If there's something left in the glass, we pour it out.
Yeah,
Because
never on this one.
It's a lot to drink over 15 days this year. This glass never gets poured out.
I think maybe we just pretend it takes long to make a decision.
Yeah.
Because we just wanted to keep drinking it.
Well, look, we've talked about this glass enough. It is time for us to cleanse our palates, and then we are going to get on to our other matchups, 1-1 and 2-2. We'll get on to that right after this. All right, on to the next glass.
This one smells better now. So I'm actually glad I'm doing this one. Well, I was a little confused by the nose in the first one. Fruity and delicious. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not.
Are we sipping?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on to it.
Yeah. Rye-tastic. I don't
think
know.
so?
On mine, I do.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. But tobacco, rye spice. I know. I think these. Well, no, these are different days.
Yeah. This was my first flavor note was tobacco.
Yeah. There's like either like a cola note or a root beer note on it. Molasses. These are like darker flavors, but it's surprising because the nose is kind of bright, but it just kind of mellows into these like more spicy flavors.
Mine is it's everything. It's very rich and dark on the back end, but on the front of the tongue, there's a brightness. There's a sweet fruit there. Brown sugar prevailing. I love where this one winds up. In the beginning, it's bright, and then it gets really rich and flavorful and almost a bit bitter on the palate, but then that finish is all beautiful sweetness. The first whiskey that we tried in this tournament has continued to impress me, even though on the nose I'm always like, it smells pretty good. And then I drink it and I go, that's delicious whiskey. I don't have any idea what is in either one of these glasses, but this is a fun matchup because they're both very different, but very, very good.
I'm actually slightly disappointed.
Uh-oh.
Because I definitely have a pattern here. They both have a little bit of a coffee note to them, a little bit of espresso note to them. Very creamy, very desserty. Glass number 1 is really good. Like that second sip, the first sip I was like, yeah, spicy, rye, whatever. The second sip, all that coffee, all that chocolate came through, and it was really good. And it makes me sad that one of these has to get eliminated.
Yeah.
Because there's one, my first glass I think actually is slightly more, I don't know if it's complex, but it's got more flavors to offer. There's no having to try to figure out if I like it. Like I know I like glass number 2.
Right. And for me, it's a matter of, do I want something brighter or do I want that jammy, musty, got lost in a barrel room and they found me 3 days later underneath this barrel. It's so good. This glass 4-2 is reminiscent of that stickiness that you find on the barrels that leak a little bit in the rickhouse. And glass 1-1 for me is just, it's brightness, but it's beautiful. So complex, so flavorful. So they're two completely different directions. I'm just going to A/B test here. Not going to give any more notes. You've heard us talk enough about these glasses. We'll sit back and forth and we're going to make a decision here.
Are you ready?
Okay.
He seems undecided.
It's just a simple yes or no, Phil. I have to say I really, really like both of these. So no matter what happens here, there are no losers, but I am ready to make a decision.
Moving on to the final, right? This will move on to the final.
That's right.
1, 2, 3.
Oh boy.
Oh, we have the same. What if we finish with the same one?
That would be weird. That'd be pretty unusual. This, I think, for me was the second toughest decision of the entire tournament since day 8.
Yeah.
Those were both unbelievably good whiskeys, total winners. These were so different. It was really hard to pick a winner here, but I had to go with the one that right from the jump has absolutely thrilled me. There was no doubt about it. Like you said, you just know you like that when you taste it. And so that's the one that's going to continue for both of us. 4-2 finds its way into the finals.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful sip. Now we get to find out what in the world.
Oh, we get to find out too.
We eliminated 2 of them. So let's
Oh my
start
gosh.
with yours. That's 2-2 Santa Paws. Tell us a story.
John Cusack would approve. Broad Branch Rye Fidelity. Straight rye, bottled in bond, aged 6 years, 100 proof.
I don't know what that is, do you?
I've never heard of that in my life.
But I will say, I said it was a rye.
You did. You called
and
that.
I'm pretty excited that I got that. It was unmistakably a rye, actually. So
Yeah. And High Fidelity, one of my favorite movies.
Yes, for
excellent
sure.
soundtrack, for sure.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what that is, though.
there you go. You had a bottled in bond rye. Actually, I don't remember that drinking at 100 proof. But phenomenal. What a great sample that was. Made it all the way to this point. Now
Semi-finalist.
semi-final. Yeah, there you go.
Is that?
Congratulations.
Yeah, semi-finalist.
1-1 is next. Tell us all about it, Santa Paws.
This one nearly clawed its way to the finale. Prideful Goat Rye, 8 years, batch 2, 122.1 proof.
That's wild. Again, a brand we don't know anything about.
I know. I'm kind of pumped that something I don't know about, which, look, to be fair, there's a lot out there that I don't know about.
Right.
But made it this far for both of us. That's
Fantastic.
pretty impressive.
I will say this. This Prideful Goat, which again I've never heard of in my entire life, I want to look it up because that's a bottle that's so good. I would love to have it on my shelf in the future. How do you feel about yours?
I'm pumped. Well, I mean, for me, this decision was really tricky. It came down to just nitpicking.
Yeah.
I feel bad. It went up against this one back here, and it's the one back here, like you said. There was nothing I don't like about it, and that you can't beat that.
4-2 actually has some sort of nostalgia about it. There's
Yeah.
something that when I taste it, it takes me someplace that I like. That's a beautiful thing that can happen when you're drinking good whiskey, and that is very good whiskey. So no losers on this table. Absolutely not.
No.
But we trudge on headlong toward the finals. We have one more day left of round 3. We're bringing you that tomorrow. We cannot wait to see what happens next from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers. Sneaky, sneaky.
Dynamite.
Want more Bourbon Van? Join us on Patreon for as little as $3 a month and get access to exclusive videos and live streams, music and whiskey pairings, and guaranteed opportunities to purchase our single barrel whiskey selections, plus obligatory Mavis photos with nearly every post.